What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 8 of Casually Toxic Podcast. It's Tuesday, December 19th, 2017, and we're here to talk to you today about video games. Everybody say hello. It's the usual squad today.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, what are we going to talk about today, guys?
Dude, fucking everything, man. It's been a busy week.
Yeah, what have you guys been doing this week? What's going on in you guys' lives right now? Matt, what you been doing?
Holiday shit.
Seen
Star
playing
Wars.
video games. Oh yeah, saw Last Jedi.
Very
Have
good.
you
I
guys
liked it.
finished shopping for everybody for Christmas?
I haven't
No,
started
even
shopping.
I usually wait till like the day before.
I was gonna do it today, but I forgot that
My
we were doing
family
this
can-
today.
Yeah, exactly.
My family consists of one person, so I don't really have to buy gifts for the most part.
What about your girlfriend?
My gift to her.
Is your presents.
Oh my god, I'm gonna probably
The
catch
gift
some
that keeps
flack
on giving.
for saying this on a podcast.
Why? Did you get her a vape?
No. No.
Merry Cloudmas.
All my
Oh, you're my sick cloud, babe.
Yeah, that's what I did. No, I'm going to Mexico with her, which sounds like
Oh yeah, yeah. you
right,
said
like,
that,
but
yeah.
like
What's wrong
I
with
don't
that?
have. Well, because it sounds like my gift for her is me going to
Oh,
Mexico.
it's you
Tequila.
taking her on
Yeah,
a
dude.
trip.
No,
present
no,
is
she's
a
taking me
present.
on a trip.
Oh, she's paying for it?
Yeah.
Her family's paying
Oh,
for
so
me
it's
to go.
literally just you being there. is
Yeah,
the gift.
well, it's because
You are narcissistic.
I am.
I mean, we're all
No.
Kanye fans here, right? My present.
Oh
is
my
a present.
god,
Oh,
I
man.
I am a broke person, so all my money is going towards like helping pay for my plane ticket and like things that I'll spend on in Mexico, and like I'll probably get her stuff in Mexico,
Very
but
good.
like it still sounds horrible for my gift to
Get
her
her
is
some
me
grade
going to
A
Mexico.
Get her own agave plant to make her
There
own
you go.
tequila in Mexico.
She doesn't
Sounds
like
like a
tequila.
lot of fucking
It's
work.
a lot of work.
Just get
It's
him
a couple
a
years
tequila
of
bottle.
aging. You could just buy
Yes.
her some tequila. But yeah, I definitely haven't done any Christmas shopping.
yeah.
Christmas is a stressful time of year. I've been working, saving up all this money, and it just goes into the abyss. But it does feel good to give a present here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you look at your bank account, it doesn't feel good anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely. And can't even afford tickets to Star Wars. You guys have it. What's your thoughts on Star Wars so far? Anybody? You guys have seen it? Sirius and
I
Matt?
thought it was good.
I thought it was also good.
We don't want to get into too much
Thought it
detail. I
was
just
pretty
wanted
good.
to.
I'll say
It was
that. pretty
There's
good.
We got-
lightsabers
it was-
in it, I'm pretty sure.
Cool stuff happens.
That's a contentious point, actually, Ian.
yeah, cool stuff
My
happens.
depth here.
If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you're going to have some issues with it, but I think overall, unless you just buy into what other people say, like you're going to more or less enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good Star Wars entry. I don't feel bad about it.
I know a lot of people complained about the first one, for
The complaints about the
miscellaneous
first
things.
one was like, well, my big complaint with the first one was it just like didn't do enough original shit. It was just like, this
Yeah.
is A New Hope, but it's 2016 or 15, whenever.
Yeah,
the
and I
movie
thought
came
that's
out.
what made it
Reskin.
so good is that they just executed it, essentially
Like that's the
same
thing. It was like
with a
it was
different
just
twist.
like to me, it was too safe. Like they could have taken more risks. They could have tried new shit, but they were just like, we're just gonna do
I
these things
think-
because we know people will like
I
it, which
think
is
they had to
fine.
do that,
You know?
though.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first in like a new
Yeah.
trilogy, and it was like a
Oh yeah,
big
the
deal.
It was
Star
kinda
Wars
supposed to be-
community is so
Rabid
ridiculous.
and-
Yeah, they're so radical.
Force
that
Awakens was
you
kinda
try
su-
anything different, you're gonna get blown up.
Yeah, Force Awakens was kind of just supposed to be like a soft reboot.
Yeah.
It's not. It wasn't necessarily supposed to be like its own new thing.
And I mean, like, I think everybody like basically liked it except like the very hardcore fans, which is like kind of crazy to say because
Well, that's how it's always
like a
gonna be.
new Star Wars.
It's not that crazy. The crazy hardcore fans are the only kinds of people who go into it with like a specific expectation of like, this is what I'm going to see, and they don't see that and they get angry. But like people who aren't that crazy, they're just like, I'm going to see R2-D2 and lightsabers and Jedi. And that's all they want, and that's what they get.
Also, time
You know?
does Star Wars a lot of favors. Like, a lot of hardcore Star Wars fans now are surprisingly okay with the prequel trilogy,
Yeah,
even
the
though
prequels
it
have gotten aged well. I
yeah,
think.
like people tore them apart for years and years, and now a lot of time when I'm browsing Star Wars Reddits and stuff, like people are a lot more accepting of them.
That
I want to
goes
put
for
it
a
out
lot
there.
of
I
things. Like
always liked the prequels ever since I saw them in theaters, and I was like 6 years old.
I really like
first
those
one?
as well.
all three of them.
I liked them because the world building they did is amazing.
I
Episode
killed
3
Padme.
was like one of the
No!
first midnight movies I went to.
Oh yeah, I went to that. Oh, God, that was such a good
Mall
time in the
Georgia.
world.
That was awesome. Me and my
Yeah.
brother went, and we had our lightsabers. He had the purple Mace Windu, and I had just like a regular blue Obi-Wan Kenobi one.
I miss like that early 2000 period because like you had Lord of the Rings releasing every year, you had Star Wars every 2 years, and then you had Matrix. Like,
And
that
Harry
trailer
Potter.
for the
yeah, whatever. We
Actually,
don't talk about Harry Potter.
it wasn't.
liked
I
Harry
just
Potter.
remembered that
Wait,
I
do you
got
not like
fooled
Harry
by
Potter?
advertising. That like there's a trailer for some movie before Star Wars that was like from Peter Jackson, a new like saga, and you're like, oh, Peter Jackson's making a new trilogy or some shit, and then like Peter Jackson is not the director, he's not even like a producer, he's
Yeah.
just like there, like being like, yeah, this will be good. And
Yeah.
it's like he's not in the movie, he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know I personally bought tickets to the first one about 4 different times, and I really enjoyed it. I have a fair grasp of Star Wars lore, but I'm not a
I'll
super.
probably go see it again.
I don't know everything
Yeah.
about it, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I know for a fact I'm going to enjoy this one. Anything that gives me that that chilling feeling where you're like, oh,
You definitely-
it's
you'll get that.
badass.
You'll
Like I'm gonna
definitely
love
you
it.
you are gonna get that.
I just have a raging.
I'm gonna-
erection for that kind of stuff. So
I'm gonna go see it again, probably like 11 a.m. show or
Yeah, go
something.
find a
Empty
matinee.
theater, and just put on my elitist hat and like
Do
soak
you
it
ever
all
take
in.
off the
There it
Arius hat?
Sometimes, not.
it's getting so
usually.
bad that you can actually see like a shape of a hat when
There
it's
is a-
sitting on your
yeah.
head. It's like a ethereal hat. Just-
Well,
can
you know,
see the
it's
outline.
hell.
Transcended.
That's why you always have hat hair.
It's healthy to have strong opinions. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Not for you, though.
Fuck off.
Well, anyways, just I guess we might as well move on
Yeah,
from
what do we
this,
got on the docket
topic
here?
before we start spoiling things about Star Wars.
Wait,
Looks
how do you
like
not like Harry Potter?
I just
You don't like Harry Potter?
gonna talk
no.
about that.
I just missed
Come
like.
on.
Well,
Like
did you
he
wait?
said it.
Wait.
He just wrote
Did
it
you?
off.
When did you get into Harry Potter? When did
That's
you-
exactly
yeah.
what I was gonna say. Is it's just I don't have any nostalgia for it. Like I did read the books as a
Yeah.
kid, and I fell off around like Goblet of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't catch on to me the
a
same
good
way.
story,
I was an edgy kid. I was reading Stephen King stuff and like Dark Tower.
No, you and
Yeah,
Edward.
I know, right? And
What?
Did you wear Jack Skellington shirts?
Oh,
no,
God.
I
Was
didn't.
Nightmare Before Christmas
I
your
did.
favorite movie?
No, it wasn't this
He's
type
my
of edgy.
life.
It wasn't this type. It wasn't that type of edgy. It was,
Jack understands me, man.
it was more just like Hail Satan kind of edgy.
I feel like the Pumpkin
But-
King, but in real
Yeah,
life.
like
nobody
Hail
gets
Satan
me.
kind of edgy. Anyway, yeah, I know for I'm not gonna criticize it. Like I don't think Harry Potter's bad in any way. It's just not for me. I don't have the nostalgia for it.
Fair enough. All right, moving on. Before we get into a 30-minute heated argument.
That's what the people come here for.
There's a new FromSoft
That's why
game
we're
coming
casually
out. Do you guys want to take the
Yeah,
reins here?
so the Game Awards happened. It was a thing that existed, and it was on Twitch. And they released a lot of new cool,
A lot of shit
crazy
came
stuff. But yeah, From Software released like a teaser of literally 3 seconds of just footage of like what something.
Shadows
know
Die
what that
Twice,
thing
Bloodborne
was.
2, settled. Yeah, Bloodborne 2. Am I right?
Said that
Yeah.
Bloodborne 2 is not going
Yeah,
to be the
I
next
thought,
one.
I thought they said like they weren't going to do another Souls game, and they considered Bloodborne part
Demon
of
Souls remastered.
I don't know. It's also convoluted at this point of what they said about like what they are and what they're not going to do. It's just Bloodborne 2 is the obvious answer because the whole twice thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
I don't.
But like I thought it was just
know.
funny because like if when you watch it, it was like they announced it, like they showed like this footage, and it was just nobody in the crowd knew what the hell was happening, and then as soon as it revealed, like the last image was the fact that it was from Software, like
Yeah.
that was the most exciting part, and everybody fucking flipped out, and nobody had any idea what like they had even seen. Like it was just the fact that From Software was attached to this obscure teaser would made everyone like lose their minds.
I guess like my immediate question is say it's not a Souls game. Like,
It's going to be a card game.
do people
Hell yeah.
do people
Battle
want
Royale Dark Souls.
Souls Royale.
There we go.
do people want From Software to do anything other than Souls? Are we like at that like what are they even known
I'm
for?
fine with them leaving the Souls like universe, but because like to me the whole thing about it is the combat, right?
Yeah,
which is like
yeah.
the best combat in like any video
Yeah.
game, pretty much.
Well, I mean, it's a combat for me that, but also like the world is definitely part of the reason. I
Well,
like
Sure.
the world is
Souls
good, but
games.
they had 3 games, 4
Yeah.
count Demon Souls, like in the same world. So like it's fine to like move on to a
Yeah,
different
no,
one.
I'm 100%. I'm like
So,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Is I'm confident in like if they move on to a different game, it's so good.
Yeah, to me, they're gonna have the same combat, and they're just gonna change the world up a little bit.
Right.
I mean, so
But that's not assumed. Like, what happens when From Software actually is like, yeah, we're doing a card game? Like, is anyone going to be excited about that? Does anyone
I don't know
care?
if they'll do
Depends,
shit
dude.
like that.
I don't know.
Is there
Yeah.
a stamina bar are in this card game.
That's what I'm
I'll play it.
saying. Say they move from like Soul. When they say they're not doing Souls games, none of that survives. Like, what if they're just like, yeah, we're making a battle royale
But
game,
why
or
wouldn't
I
they
don't
do
know.
that?
I
Why
don't
would they
know.
say, hey guys, I've just decided that we hate money
It's a
and
mobile
we're
game.
not gonna make the games
mean,
that made our name
If they're
anymore.
passionate
yeah.
about it, then I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I wouldn't necessarily be super excited about it. I guess it's just a weird thing. Like, I don't know what they mean by no more
we
Souls
should
games.
probably just wait until we have more than a
What
5
defines-
second teaser
Speculate wildly
trailer.
on
What
happened.
defines a Souls game? You know, it is
The
it the fact.
combat. The
Yeah,
combat
And if you want to get into the
world
lore,
and
it's like
lore.
the indirect storytelling, I think,
Yeah.
makes a Souls game.
Could they have meant by when they said they're not making any more Souls games that they're not going to do any more Dark Souls games, like any of that specific
Well,
universe?
Bloodborne
That's the
is-
thing is, like, nobody knows what they
Yeah.
meant by
Right.
that.
Bloodborne is also a Souls game. So
They're
it's like,
100% going to make a game with the general feel of that. Of
They're
those
not
games.
100% going to
What if
do
they
that.
make
though.
a
I
sci-fi
can almost-
soul-style game?
You mean
I was
the
thinking
Surge?
about that actually.
Sure. What?
I was actually just thinking about what if they made one in like a futuristic universe, but everybody only uses swords or something for some reason.
I mean,
pistols.
Surge kind of
Some
did that.
reason,
Yeah.
dude, they'll find a way.
Yeah, how do you
Bullets
keep
can
the
be
con?
blocked by the blade?
Bullets are so boring. I don't know.
So Star Wars Souls game. Yeah, that's what I want.
Dude, if they actually went in there and made
That would
something,
be crazy if From Software started doing shit like Platinum does, where they like co-work on a game where they just make the combat and the other
Yeah.
company like does
They
the
do
story and everything.
That would
else.
be
Yeah.
unreal. That's
Imagine
a great
like a-
idea. Pitch it.
A super
call it
gritty,
Miyazaki. dude.
Make a quick million.
dude, a super gritty Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Because like even at
Where
its
you, like,
core,
straight up
Star Wars
decapitate
is like
people.
lightheaded.
I don't think that's
Or
gonna
lightheaded.
happen
Yeah.
now with Disney owning
I know,
Star
but that would
Wars.
have been so.
No, definitely not.
Lightheaded is
Star
not.
Wars is
You
a
know what I mean?
balance.
Disney
like,
still takes it a little darker.
I know, but I'm
They're not
thinking
afraid.
like Bloodborne, fucking.
Right, and it's like
Like,
sick,
super
twisted
dark.
shit everywhere.
No.
That
Star
would be
Star Wars
so
Star
cool.
when Star Wars does do like dark dives, it works because the rest is lighthearted
Yeah,
in
I mean, it's the
contrast.
kids.
It does
Like-
not fit.
Yeah.
It does not fit.
Yeah,
with the theme at
so
all.
it's really cool when it does happen, but like an entire experience that would be that, I would just be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it would-
this is. I'm
yeah.
not like saying. This
I
is-
get where you're going
Yeah.
for. I would like a Souls like game that's more lighthearted. I think that would be kind of cool to have a more
That was
like
lighthearted.
interesting.
a
It's just,
cartoony
like,
one.
Daylight outside.
Yeah, like
bright colors.
yeah,
and
maybe
shit.
maybe like a more vibrant world, kind of like I guess what Breath of
Bastion.
the Wild does, sort of, just
Yeah.
like a more
Yeah, just like
lighthearted.
open blue skies and
Yeah,
like,
not necessarily like super cartoony and childish.
Yeah.
Just something a little
Not like
less.
dark. That's all.
Yeah, just not the grim dark aesthetic. Like I
Yeah.
could do with a more lighthearted Souls game.
I'd like a Fortnite style, not like just the art style.
Dude,
I don't like
are you
Fortnite's art
telling me
style.
you
I
don't
love
want
it.
to see the 400th skeleton strewn up across a wall?
No, I maybe
Fortnite's
no.
getting extremely
I don't
popular
anymore.
I think it.
You guys
Is it
notice
still
that?
growing?
It just seems to be like
I don't know if
always
it's
topping
still-
Twitches. I've seen numbers
Yeah.
higher
Yeah,
than
but
PUBG
that's
lately.
Summit.
Like,
Summit is
It's Summit.
streaming
not
almost
just Summit
exclusively.
though. When it's CDN, all these other
Yeah,
guys.
but, like it's Summit and CDN. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's.
but the
streaming.
game is growing. Like, it's just straight
Yeah,
up.
I feel like the
just-
game has its own niche. It's not going to go away. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's definitely probably growing, but like the second that Summit goes back to PUBG or just like goes back to playing any other game, then
Well, he doesn't like PUBG. I mean, he likes it, but he thinks Fortnite's better.
Yeah,
Has
he
he said
straight
that?
he straight up
Oh.
likes Fortnite the best.
That's fucking insane to me. But okay, sure.
Fortnite's
I mean,
a really good
whichever
game.
game runs
We
the
haven't
best
played that
and
at all
doesn't
yet.
fucking. I don't
That's
have
the
to jump
thing,
through
too. Fortnite
6 and
runs
7
better.
hoops.
Yeah,
consistent
no, I'm
game.
I'm just
Everyone
surprised
reindeer
because like
outfit
Summit's
and a
coming
giant
from like a
cane.
CS:GO background, and like I assume he would enjoy a more tactical, not tactical, but just more grounded thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like Fortnite because Scotty just made me aware that you can get a reindeer costume with a candy cane as your
Fuck
shovel.
that.
So that's a selling
That's
point for
pretty
me.
cool. All right, I'm launching up
that's
Fortnite
fucking
right now.
I
awful.
might go home and launch it up and
Have
just
you guys
purchase that.
tried the 50v50 thing?
I actually
No.
don't know what that is.
This was another thing I think they announced at the
Ranked
Game
Fortnite.
Awards. But it was like,
It's like a team.
yeah, it's like a team literally 50v50, and I just
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like a temporary game though. It's not like a huge thing.
Oh,
but
it's
it
just
seemed-
like one of
it
those
seemed pretty
battle
interesting, yeah.
modes in WoW or something. Those random things they do.
I feel like it would be cool if it was like you had like a siege of like 50v50. You know what I mean? But it's probably just gonna be like you're on the same map, but now you just roam and
I
You
would.
see, you see teammates
Yeah.
random places.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should make an entirely new map for that game mode and
I mean, maybe they have. I haven't played
start
it.
everybody
I'm
together.
purely talking out my ass here.
What
So-
would get me on board with Fortnite if they had a 50v50 mode and you had a build phase where you had like 5 to 10 minutes to build a fucking
just-
fort.
you just had a
And then,
siege.
yes, and then you had like attackers and defenders.
That could be pretty cool.
That would
actually.
be exciting.
That'd be fun.
And then I would play Fortnite.
I love the sieging aspect in that game. That's why I play it primarily. And I can't say I really play it because I haven't played it in a long time. But Witcher and WoW ripped me off of it. But still a great game.
You know, speaking of obscure games, though, that Death Stranding teaser.
Obscure.
I mean, because that From Software thing was ridiculous. Like nobody
Not
knows what it is.
obscure, thinking of
But
different.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Seeing the Death Stranding teaser, even knowing Hideo Kojima and like what he does, that shit was.
Well, what is
It's
it?
so wild.
Hideo. What is
No.
it? Yeah.
It's a Kojima.
Hideo-
Like, you have no idea what
Yeah.
the fuck is
Hideo
happening.
Kojima is the only person that can get away with like creating a trailer for a game and not
So-
having it make any sense
Yeah.
and everyone accepting it.
He's like
and
the
being
Stephen-
The
excited.
only
He's like the
thing I've
Stephen King
seen
of
that
game
is
makers.
like confirmed. That was like a fan theory that I think Kojima confirmed in like an interview after the teaser or the trailer came out. Was a thing that like people were talking about the babies. So if you watch the trailer, right, they have those little sensor things that senses the monsters. But Norman Reedus's doesn't work when he doesn't have the baby in his little like pouch thing. But the other guy who has the baby can sense the monsters, and once he passes the baby over to Norman Reedus, his sensor starts going off. So it's powered by the baby.
That's so weird.
And no, what they're saying is that like the baby is like a vessel that like you can be. It's like a clone of you.
Yeah.
So if you die and the baby's still alive, you grow. The baby grows into you, and you can continue like your fight or your mission.
But if the baby
So
dies,
when
you're
that
fucked.
guy dies without the baby, he's like really dead and never coming back.
That's so
So
cool.
we don't know like what the monsters are, what they want, but like there's like this little thing about like resurrection through clones.
The first trailer came out what, like 3-4 years
Yeah,
ago?
and that's the other thing too
Like
is that
2
it's going to be
years,
about
maybe.
people think it's going to be about also climate change because Death Stranding is like the phenomenon of like basically whales beaching themselves.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Watch the first trailer.
yeah, the first trailer shows like whales.
I could see it
beached, and-
totally taking
So
that
it has
turn.
something to do with climate change, something to do with like the end of the world, and
So everyone, when they're talking about this trailer, they like to say like, "Well, we have no idea what this game's going to be," but like
Hype.
my prediction is what we're looking at is like a third-person action adventure horror game, right? Like I don't what
I bet it's
what
a
else could it?
Telltale.
I don't.
What
I
else
I think
could
it'll
it
have scary
be?
parts. I don't think it'll be a.
Well,
horror
just
game.
make like stealth sequences,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because
But,
any
like-
kind of game where like the enemy is like this behemoth thing that will kill you in one
Yeah.
hit, like you're never gonna fight him.
But,
head on
like,
that. So
I think
Unless
it's
it's Shadow of the Colossus.
it's probably
They don't
safe
fight
to
you.
say that's
Spoilers.
going to play a little bit like Last of Us or something. Like I don't see it moving away from like a third-person action
oh
adventure
yeah,
style.
that's probably gonna be
It's
that.
probably going to be that.
But it's just like I don't know. I feel like not a lot of games have as rich of a story as
No.
Kojima games. So
yeah, no, I
Plot
agree.
twist, Norman Reedus is Snake, and it actually just becomes
Holy
Metal Gear
crap,
Solid
it's all
6.
good.
yeah, he's actually Snake.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, like
We wanted a
anime
real
style
person to
plot
play
lines.
Snake.
Ridiculous anime style plot lines and like insane world building.
Yeah, I mean,
is-
it's still a Japanese game. It's gonna have some fucking wacky
It's
shit in there.
Yeah, anything.
I
with
still
Japanese-
feel like Metal Gear is wackier.
Oh,
than
Metal Gear's fucking
yeah.
off the wall.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and I assume Death Stranding will be too.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I just hope like if they do stealth sections, I hope they do it right. 'Cause, like bad stealth sections kill games for me, man.
Dude, they're great at stealth. Like that's just what they do.
Yeah,
I
mean,
mean,
it's-
I haven't. All right, I'm gonna get fucking ridiculed here, but I haven't played a single Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
So if you
like-
did, you'd understand that their stealth aspects of the game
I'm
are pretty
coming
cool.
from like
Like, they're-
other RPGs or other like action
Mhm.
adventure games where they're like, and this is the stealth section, and I immediately go, oh,
Well, I think
for
that's
fuck's
part of the reason why everyone's so hype on it because it has Kojima's name on it. It's like you can guarantee a certain
Yeah,
level
which
of
is why-
quality. Like
Yeah.
no one's worried about the stealth because they know what to expect from Kojima.
sake. Yeah, which is
It's
why
not
I'm
gonna be
hyped about it. It's, like, the
groundbreaking.
fact that I've
Yeah.
heard so much about this guy.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
that
excited.
anyone looking for like the scope of Metal Gear though might end up a little disappointed just because of the production time on
yeah,
this
well,
game.
that's the thing is that like it's unfair to compare it to Metal Gear. Because Metal Gear had like 15 years to come out with like 4 or 5 games,
Well,
mainline games.
And I'm guessing that this is a
spin-offs.
lower budget thing because it's the
portable games are
studios.
Mhm.
It's probably a lower budget thing because this is the studio's first job. When they first announced this project, they were still looking for engines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't imagine that this is going to be on the same budget or scale as a Metal Gear game. It's probably going to
I think
be
it's gonna be bigger.
no way. Not when I would
Why not?
because then it's not going to come out for another 5 years. If it comes out in 5 years, sure, but
I
like
think it'll have a bigger budget than
Yeah,
any
when do you
Metal
think
Gear
it's
game
coming
because
out?
the Metal Gear games always went over budget, but it was like backed by Konami. This one is backed by Sony, who has way more money, and they know it's going to be a killer app in a time when Xbox is gaining ground on them. You know,
Sony wants to get this out in a reasonable amount of time, and like I said, when this was first announced, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago tops, like they were still looking for engines. There's
Okay, but like Sony wants to get it out in a reasonable time, but Kojima is one of these people like. People don't really
Yeah, you know-
name a lot of names when it comes to video games, right? Like
Yeah.
the names that you know when it comes to video games are like what, like Miyamoto
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Kojima, and like that's it, right?
Miyazaki and
Like
That
yeah,
guy that did Dark
Miyazaki and
Souls.
like yeah,
Yeah.
Miyazaki made Dark Souls and like
all just
Tamiya, if
Japanese
you're really
people.
into platinum games, right? But like I don't know who made Halo. Like was it O'Donnell or he did the soundtrack?
I'm
Like,
not sure.
I don't know who made Halo. I don't know who made
These
Contra.
guys brand themselves really
You
well.
know,
when
I
it
don't
comes to
know
their
who
games.
made like
Yeah.
a bunch of these classic games, but I know like Miyamoto and I know Kojima and like I think a lot of people know those names at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like part of the thing about Kojima wanting to be independent is that he doesn't want to be told what to do. He doesn't want to work under these deadlines, and I just am feeling that he would not cut a deal with Sony if he wasn't guaranteed like these
For sure.
concessions because he was already like chained up working at Konami.
Yeah, it depends on when it ends up coming out. If we see this game on PS5 in 2023,
It's not going to come on PS5. Well, it could, but I don't. Think
I believe that it will be similar in scope to budget, but like the way they're treating it and the way that they are pushing it and like releasing at least a trailer, I guess about a year, the way they're approaching it makes it seem like it's going to come out sooner.
Well,
And if it
also-
comes out sooner, there's no way it's going to be
Also,
the
I
same
think this
scale.
is going to be the first Kojima game that comes out in like this like DLC era where like the game you can release the game and even if it's like a finished complete storyline, you can add on like
Sure.
full story missions that like
Yeah.
like Blood and Wine or whatever from
Yeah.
Witcher.
Yeah.
Like it's just like so
And maybe
long,
eventually it'll
like,
become
almost
that.
a whole nother game. You
and,
know,
and maybe it'll eventually become a big project. I just don't expect it to be anywhere. I don't see it becoming
I mean, just
anywhere
the-
near the scale like Phantom Pain. I don't think we're
production
gonna get like. A
well, yeah,
huge-
but Phantom Pain was like the finale of like this
Yeah,
humongous.
But sure,
thing.
I'm
and even
only
MGS4 was,
I'm
like,
only
this
talking about
huge
like
fucking
development
thing.
time here. Really, I just
Yeah.
don't see them doing that quick of a turnaround when they were just looking for engines a
When
year
did they
ago.
start working on this game? Do
Like
we know
maybe
what date?
roughly a year ago, I think is when they started.
Year
They were
ago? I thought
shopping.
It was longer than that.
And last time I heard of it before, like it came around again this year, they just found like an engine, and they were just like hiring team members. Like it wasn't that long ago that they were even setting
So
this
I don't
up.
think it's going to come out then for at least like what, like 18 months, 2 years.
I would expect more like if it's going to be big in scope, like if it's going to be a Metal Gear size like that type of game, it's going to be like 4 or 5 years.
I mean, also it could be like
If it
I-
comes out sooner than that, it's going to be more of like a kind of indie style like passion project.
It's already
with
been
good
almost
production
4
quality.
years.
No,
No,
I
no.
watched the first trailer for that almost 2 to 3 years ago.
no, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I
I
did.
think there's like 2 years at least.
It's 2 years tops.
I mean, maybe like switching over to Sony is gonna like speed in the development process. Like maybe Konami had like some hurdles with like developing
Maybe.
shit. I mean, I'm wildly speculating, but it's like
I'm guessing that this is going to be like a more of a PS4 Pro focused title that's going to come out like it's going to be holiday season and it might even come out like next holiday
It was
season. And it's going to be a
announced E3
smaller
2016. It was the
2016,
first announcement
okay.
of it.
yeah,
so-
so it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been that long. That's what I'm saying.
It felt like way longer than that.
And
So-
and when that was happening, they were still putting together a team and an engine. So like I bet it comes out next holiday season and it's not going to be this giant ass like game. It's going to be
It'll be
more
more
no
story
way it
driven.
comes
It'll
out
probably,
next
it'll probably be like a
holiday
more linear.
It's going to be a
smaller.
more linear like passion project. Like I don't think the scope of this game is going to be as
No,
enormous as Metal
I
Gear.
agree. I agree with you there.
Or
Yeah,
unless
no,
we see it in the year 2022 or something, in which case it will be. But
Yeah. Well, guess we can move on from there as well. What do you guys want to talk about next?
What do we got here?
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
Looks really cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you
Bayonetta
take the wheel there
Trace.
because I don't know shit.
I
about
mean, I'm not
Bayonetta.
sure I'm the best person to take the wheel. I played the first one; it was really good. I wanted to play the second one, but it was on Wii U, and mine's broken.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they're releasing 1 and 2 on Switch, which is really cool, and then they're also releasing a third one, which is also really awesome. But like, I find it really interesting that like Nintendo's willing to dive into a more mature kind of game though, because Bayonetta is very like sexual and shit, and like the way she like uses her powers
Well,
and
I think
whatever.
Nintendo's had like a close relationship with Platinum for a while with like the Beautiful Joe games, the Mighty Number 9 or not 99, that's the fucking Mega Man
Yeah.
ripoff.
Yeah.
The Mighty Number 1 or whatever the fuck it was called. The one on Wii U where you
Oh.
control like 100 people or whatever.
100.
Well, Mighty
Wonderful
101.
101.
Wonderful 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the Platinum game that like Nintendo has been like boosting Platinum for a while. And like I don't think it's I mean it is surprising that it's such like a sexualized game, but also this is Nintendo under the new president now who's like trying to push them in a direction
Yeah.
where it's like this is Nintendo can do anything. We're not just what you think we are.
Which is why I think it's like a good move.
Yeah, it's
Nintendo.
exciting.
Great move.
It's
It
like
definitely
puts them
exciting.
on a scale. I feel like people view Nintendo products differently than they view Xbox. It's
Yes.
Xbox.
A lot of people think of like,
PlayStation.
well, I own my console and a Nintendo, you know, or I'm into PC and
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo's like everybody's secondary, but it's like you know,
Like
It's
the
never
ultimate-
a primary
Yeah.
console.
The ultimate combo is
Yeah.
quoted by a lot of people as like get a PC and then a Nintendo,
Yeah.
and like you will be able to play most things.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like PlayStation this
lately because they're
Console
fucking
is-
crushing this generation
Yeah.
that they're able to like force the exclusives on their consoles.
for sure.
Fuck
And
you,
like,
Monster
Bloodborne
Hunter.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But still, you can play like the majority of like killer games that you want to play that like end up on the Game of the Year list. You only need a PlayStation
Yeah.
or not a PC and a Nintendo.
Yeah, I think if you just look at percentage of like the number of
Yeah.
big
like
releases
this year,
you
right?
can
So
play.
like the top 10 games, Horizon Zero Dawn was like the only PS4 exclusive.
No, Persona 5 too.
Yeah, it's an exclusive as well. So
It's also-
Persona
that's
and
also on
Horizon.
PS3.
It's on PS3, but still.
Yeah.
Persona 5 is on PS3.
Yeah, it was originally developed for like Persona 5 has been in development for so long. It was originally coming
That's
out
it.
on PS3.
That's wild.
That's almost like in the emulator scene, like that's PlayStation's like Breath of the Wild. Everyone's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
everyone's
can
like-
emulate Persona 5 using a PS3 emulator.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's this PS3 emulator that only runs 3 games, and one of them is Persona
yeah,
5.
yeah,
like,
just like the Wii U emulator is
Yeah.
now the Breath of the Wild
It's
emulator.
not like graphically intensive. It's just so crazy.
Well,
It's a good
Art
art
emulation
style
is,
to
like,
make it
so
easier.
crazy hard. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't even matter how it looks for emulation. Honestly,
really?
no, it's all just like it's
Coding?
Can
yeah,
you
it's
turn
all
on the game after the start menu? Like,
yeah,
crazy.
like
I
all
was-
the it doesn't emulators don't even really use your GPU. It's like entirely CPU dependent.
Huh.
I'm
It's-
I have
fucked.
no idea how emulators work, but I definitely figured like the better the game looked.
I don't know
the harder
how
it
they work,
was.
but I know it's incredibly hard. If you look at like the compatibility list, you'll see so many games that are like, it's like it'll have like the yellow like, hey, making progress, and it's like the game turns on, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, we like made so much progress. It's like, damn,
Part of the reason why it doesn't matter how it looks is like it's not coded in such a way that what the hardest part of it is actually even utilizing your GPU or CPU properly. Like it just doesn't use them the way
Yeah.
it should. It's just incredibly hard to code.
I'll
though.
finally be able to play Metal Gear Solid 4 if a PS3 emulator comes out.
There is a PS3 emulator, and it might or might not run Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, I don't know how well.
I've been trying to
Here at the
play that
Casual
game.
Toxic podcast, we do not condone emulators. And
Fuck, I
pirating
condone
other games.
emulators.
I condone emulators. I
Don't give
condone,
Konami no
I
money.
condone pirating. I condone it all. It's cool with me.
Well, on a previous podcast, like I said, I mean, do have your own values in terms of emulation, pirating, whatever. But like the shit that happens in the emulation scene is just fucking cool.
Yeah, it's
At the end of the
interesting.
day, it's
Yeah.
just fucking
You
cool.
guys
to
should
follow,
download
so.
all your emulators, pirate everything you possibly can before net neutrality is taken away.
We're not gonna talk about net
But we're not
neutrality.
going to go there.
Net neutrality's bad.
But
It's real bad. I don't like it.
I played the first
Stop it.
Bayonetta and I really liked it. I know didn't play Bayonetta 2, but I know at the time it came out to like glowing 10 out of 10
Yeah.
reviews across the board. I'm looking forward to playing it when I get the opportunity to do so. Bayonetta 1's like one of my favorite character action
Yeah,
games
definitely looking
ever.
to pick up Bayonetta 2 when it comes out.
Man, I remember like I played the Bayonetta 1 recently, like this past couple months, and I just got like the worst kind of trophy.
Oh,
all
I
the
got
way
stones all the way
through. Yep, the
through,
entire
dude.
way through. I was just like, okay, and I sucked on that one, and I sucked on those.
And then like you
Yeah.
look up a guide online that's just like, this is how you do combat, and you see people doing like they literally run through the whole mission without getting hit once with like a perfect combo. And you're just like,
Well,
what
they're
the
cheating,
fuck game
dude.
are you playing?
They're
Like
cheating.
it's not the same game I'm on. Like
So
I went to the
Wild.
next difficulty up, and like the initial, like you load into Bayonetta 1, you're in like a cemetery or whatever. The like initial fight, I was just getting fucked up on like the next difficulty above, and I'm just
Wow.
like, all right, dude, this is insane. But
is
I mean,
there an even higher difficulty than that?
I have no idea, but like part of the Platinum brand is like the fact that there's like crazy combat,
Mm-hmm.
and like my first Platinum game was that Legend of Korra one because it was like on sale for like $10.
It's like the Avatar game.
Yeah, and it was widely regarded as a just bad game. And I was like, it's a platinum game. I'll play it. And then I hated it, and it was horrible.
Everything Avatar other than the show has been absolutely trash. The movie was fucking
Yeah, the movie's
garbage.
trash. But I think people said Legend of Korra was good.
Yeah. The game?
No, the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The show is cool,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
talking
but
about
everything
any
else
games,
is like, yeah.
movies, anything that's been
has
released.
there been like a ton of Avatar games?
Probably been a
Probably
couple,
not,
but
'cause
they
they
were
probably
like,
got
just like
shit.
shitty tie-in games. And the Flash games on the Nickelodeon website.
What
Oh,
Sure.
those are sick.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wow,
kidding.
dude, how edgy and cool.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Wait, he didn't.
I can't believe people saw
Yeah,
it. Yeah, he
M.
he
Night
made that
Shyamalan
movie.
directed
He
the
made
live-action
that
Avatar movie. I don't know anything about
We
Avatar.
directed the
didn't
live
fucking
action
see it.
Dragon Ball Z movie.
Oh
Some
my!
nobody, dude.
No, I think it was somebody.
Was it, dude? That's like just I didn't see it because I could tell Dragon Ball Evolution you're
Peter
talking
Jackson.
about.
Yeah, Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Evolution.
I just remember like
Peter
looking at the
Jackson.
poster for it and just being like, "This is a movie that was made with $5,000. Like that was their budget."
And 19% of people like the movie.
Does somebody go Super
James
Saiyan? in
That's
that
1
movie?
in 5, dude.
Is
That's
it? Does
like
Super Saiyan ever happen in Dragon Ball?
Evolution?
I
I didn't
think
Well,
so.
they didn't have the
Probably.
budget to make like hair fly up like
It's
that.
just a
or
wig.
anything.
Just like a yellow
It's
wig.
from the guy that made
It's like foam.
Final Destination.
Well, there you go.
what
And
a-
the one
Those were
with
winners.
Jet Li and
And Black
Jason
Christmas.
Statham. The one, it was like the era of like Matrix, like martial arts movies. The one is so good. Look at this list
Such hits as The Boys Next Door,
of favorite movie in the world.
Moon Warriors.
Fuck yeah, I love Moon Warriors.
Um,
The one is actually a good movie.
is it actually? I've never seen it.
Well, it's good in the best kind of way.
The only kind of way.
You-
Have you guys seen The Disaster Artist?
Yes.
Speaking
No.
of horrible movies.
Excellent.
Did you not
Very
like
good.
it?
No, I haven't seen it. I want to go see it.
Highly recommend
said
it to
speaking of
everybody. I
horrible
think
movies.
it's hilarious.
Well, I just know The Room.
I'm sure it's funny. It's James Franco is just a
it's
funny guy.
really good. You should watch The Room before. I think it's on YouTube for free.
Scotty said he reminds him of Eggers.
Tommy Wiseau, a little bit, because he's just like
Yeah,
he's
hey,
kind of like
she
this
just
like
says, "Ah."
bumbling, like I don't want to say an idiot, but he's just like he like lives in a different world from everybody else.
Yeah.
But and like he thinks he like has all the answers, and it's kind of frustrating because he doesn't. But he still just like stumbles his way into success. Like it's a really good movie. Highly recommend it.
So you would recommend seeing The Room before seeing The Disaster Artist?
It makes it better. You don't have to, but it makes it better.
The room's actually terrible, isn't it?
It's like
So
objectively
bad it's
bad,
good.
but it's like so bad. It's like Sharknado kind of thing.
Oh,
where it's like
God.
so bad it's
Okay.
good.
I got you.
Sure.
Sharknado
like-
is so good, it's good. I don't know what you're talking about. Sharknado is fucking art.
Yeah, I got really scared in Sharknado. That one scared me. It's,
Yeah, I didn't.
It's
go
a
in
horror
the,
movie.
I didn't go in the pool for a while.
I didn't go outside because they're just everywhere.
I like that Sharknado was like the ultimate evolutions of like sci-fi's original films. Like they had years of like these movies, and Sharknado was like their magnum
Sharknado was one of those
opus.
they were finally like, all right, like we'll lean in. Like,
Yeah.
when they figured out that they were like, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
Because before they were serious, like, no, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
You guys like shit, sci-fi movies. Yeah. Speaking of really scary stuff, I know Ian, you're really excited to talk about GTFO.
Okay, really excited.
This is gonna be your game of the
Yeah,
year.
I don't even know what this is,
2018.
man.
I heard the
Yeah.
table doink a little bit
Dude,
earlier when I said
just
it.
wanted to, like, I'm not really excited. I was interested in it.
What
'cause,
is
like,
it?
Well, it's like a Left 4 Dead style of like. It looks like a horde-based 4-player like
Those are good
zombie
times.
shit. Yeah, and so like it looks
Like
interesting.
Killing Floor type deal.
That's one I'll probably
Or
buy
is
because
it
it's
like,
gonna be fun
can
to
you
play
get
with
to
everyone.
control like the zombies or whatever, the monsters?
I have no idea, man.
Oh,
They just
okay.
released a teaser. It just looked more
I thought you knew everything about this
horror
game.
based. No, because you introed it as like Ian's favorite game.
It is
game
your
of the year,
favorite game. You said you
2019.
loved it and you knew everything about it earlier.
Yeah, no, dude. I know the developers were super cool. We're on a
Who
first name
is
basis.
developing? Is it indie
How is
game
John
or-
these days?
No idea.
All right, so
I
we
have
don't know anything
no
about this fucking
idea.
game. What else is on? What do we got next here?
Let's
But
go.
it
Let's
looks
go down the list.
super cool.
We could talk about how shit PUBG is and that it was released on the Xbox. I saw it in
I don't know who
stores
was
the other
fucking
day.
surprised that like it gets like 20 FPS on Xbox.
I mean,
like,
it doesn't even run well on the PC,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
releasing it as a like product at like Walmart, all the big stores, and it's fucking PUBG. It is a joke and should not be allowed. It should be a no-no.
What's crazy is they're shipping it. I'm pretty sure they're shipping it with Xbox One X consoles, and it's like you bought the Xbox One X, the most powerful console on Earth.
tagged along with the most unoptimized game
Yeah.
on Earth.
Also, 20 FPS on this
Whew.
game. I hope you really.
It's already hard enough to shoot in that game. Like you get 20 FPS. Good luck.
Dude, it's horrible, man. And IGN, who rates the new COD every year like an 8 out of 10, gave it a 5.
Beautiful.
IGN, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's surprised by this. I don't know. But
Yeah,
they are
it's-
getting help, right? Like Microsoft is like helping with the development of it now to get it
Yeah,
better optimized.
I think they're. I'm just surprised that they released it. I mean, I knew.
I'm
that
surprised
they-
that it came out so.
I'm not.
Fast,
I feel like
at
PUBG's
this
trying
time.
to claim as much money as possible, and they're just gonna say fuck
I-
it one day, and they're
I
just gonna
think Blue
sell it
Hole-
to someone or something.
I think Bluehole just got in over their heads. Like, they didn't know that PUBG was going to take off quite as much as it did. They have all these release dates. They want to make sure they don't linger in early access. Like, PUBG is arguably, like, the biggest deal on PC. And,
Yeah,
like...
it's definitely like, I'll say game of the year, not like winning these awards, but like
In terms
it's like
of
the
sheer
phenomenon
popularity.
of the year. Like
Yeah,
if
it's
you talk about like
popular.
what did you play in 2017, like the majority of people will say I played PUBG. Like,
Yeah.
They're gonna sell that to someone else because they're in over their heads. It's just like with any small business owner that gets too big too quick. If they can't handle it, they usually end
But
up
that's what I'm
selling to
saying,
someone
they're
that's
getting
more
help from
competent.
Microsoft.
Yeah, they need some big guys, big guns to come in and help them out a little bit. But I guess it's understandable.
They'll
At least it's
prob-
not gonna be like what's that Minecraft kind of game where they just sold it. Or no, he just
You mean
no,
Minecraft?
Oh,
they
talking
did
about
sell it.
Cube
Cube World,
Oh
that
my God,
bullshit ass
dude.
game. I love that game too,
It's
and
such
he
a
fucked
great
us
like,
all.
looking game.
Yeah.
It was like 2 people working on it.
Yeah, it was a husband
Like,
and wife team, and the
it-
guy was like,
it's
"I don't
so
want to hire
small.
anybody to help me," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, cool." It's like, "Well, you also don't want to update the game ever."
I wonder if
ever
he
again.
still has money from that.
Probably,
Oh,
dude.
for
How much do you
sure.
think he sold? How much money?
A decent bit. I remember it being a
Yeah.
big deal at the time. Wasn't it like
That's just
20
straight
bucks
profit
a
because
pop?
it's just him and his wife working on it.
Mhm.
That's maybe I might have done the same thing if I was him. I guess
Oh yeah, just cash out. Let's get
cash
that
out, like-
fucking money. Yeah.
Yeah.
work the rest of my life or just go have a great time.
Yeah.
But everybody's gonna hate me. I don't know.
PUBG will probably get sorted. It's going to get sorted out, but at the end of the day, like if you want to play PUBG, like PC is going to be the definitive
PC's
platform
gonna
for
be
it.
the way to play, but that's what these guys are going for people who will never in their lives like pay for a gaming PC. I know that an Xbox One X costs $500, which is like
You
as
could
much
almost
as
build a
a
good-
PC like costs like a decent PC.
I just don't see people that
But,
are like exclusively like Xbox or console gamers even necessarily enjoying a game like PUBG because
I'll
it's
tell you that those people exist. They're the same people who, while all of us are ready to shit on Destiny and all the horrible loot box shit they do, I know, like, Scotty, if you could ask, like, Michael or Taylor how much they enjoy Destiny 2, it's, like, the best shit they ever played.
Yeah,
They come from
never
a lower
consider all
quality
these
of
awful
games.
fucking things because they don't play games like we do. They're not as online
Well, no,
as we are,
it's-
where they read all these things about it. And those are the same kind of people who are going to play a game at
This
20
game's
FPS and
sick,
they won't
bro,
give a
like-
shit. They do not care
But
if it's
how?
20
Like
FPS.
it just looks
Because you're not
Well,
used
Well,
to
no,
a higher
because, no,
standard.
they don't even know. They don't even know a concept of frames. You know,
It's like being born
I remember playing
blind.
at a time on like
You don't know anything
console
better.
and just being like, well, you know, who cares about frames? Because I can play the game. Like that's it. Unless it like starts to lag like crazy, people don't like. Some people who play on consoles and are not that hardcore will see the game lag and like drop frames, and they associate that the same way as like connection issues. you
Yeah.
know? They don't know why the game lags.
That's true.
My-
And so if it is not that intrusive, they're not gonna mind.
Yeah, they just don't. They just come from. They started
The
at
game,
a lower
I,
standard. They
I,
haven't
I can,
seen the
I
pinnacle.
would bet money that PUBG will do just fine on Xbox. It's not a good game. It's not a good experience, and it will do just fine.
My point was more that PUBG kind of occupies a space that's in between something like a COD or a Battlefield and more of a milsim. And milsims are like not on
consoles.
console at all. So
Yeah.
like,
They
I
can't
guess
run 'em,
my
they're too
only
big.
question is how is the console audience going to react to a game
I
that
think-
has like bullet drop, is very slow, and is all about situational awareness? Like, it's
I
just
think
a
it'll
weird.
do just fine because
Yeah, I mean-
I feel like this game because
might-
of that reason because there is no like there are console players who want to play that kind of game and they're just
I
isn't
guess
one.
I don't know. I would assume console gamers in a bubble
And
don't even
also, you
know
have to
about
understand,
milsims.
Like, there's so much hype around PUBG on PC. that,
Sure.
like, console players will want to play just to get in on
Yeah,
it. You know?
Yeah,
I
they've been
believe
hearing
right
about
in
it
that.
Yeah.
nonstop, and they're just ready to get
Yeah.
their taste for
I
it.
just can't, it just seems like it'd be so alien to a lot of them.
I think it's still overall like a good thing. Even if the game comes out shitty, people are gonna play it and enjoy it. And
Is it
Yeah.
so laggy that you can't really play, or is
it's
it
just like
20
12 frames?
FPS?
I I don't know,
is.
like, I don't, that 20 FPS number, like, it can, like, be fluctuated. It could be, like, sometimes you get 30 and sometimes you get 10, you know? And like,
Yeah.
It
just
needs to be a
Depends on the
solid
draw
60.
distance
Yeah.
and what you're looking at.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I don't even know what the draw distance is. And, like, shit's just gonna start, like, popping up in front of you.
Yeah.
Like,
It needs to be
That's
at a
scary.
solid
Yeah.
60, or there's basically no
It's not even a
point.
solid 60 on PC though.
Yeah,
I think the new map
yeah, it
is.
is.
The
there
new
is a new
map
map.
has a solid. 60
Oh, I'm not talking about
FPS.
the new map. I mean current PUBG, like the current map we've
Even
been playing
current-
on.
You think current PUBG has solid 60?
Well, that's what all the updates that are
On
coming out
Xbox or
now
PC?
On PC.
I get a solid 60.
I had solid 60 frames when I would
Yeah.
play, and also they are like
I have all my
working
settings on low.
I feel like optimization is like the number one priority of Bluehole
Yeah.
right now. So like every update that comes out, they're working on that, and across the board, the consensus is on the new map, which is where they're putting in all their efforts. It runs like much better than the old map.
Yeah.
When I had to
Regardless of your
download
rig.
PUBG for the first time, there's all this random shit I had to install and put in files just to make it run normally. I remember that.
I run a solid like 60. I normally around 80, but also
And
like
it's on low.
I have all the settings on low, but not for performance. I have them on low because of like
Yeah, it gives you an
stupid advantage. Yeah,
because like if you have foliage on high,
yeah.
then you can hide in a bush
I'm
and you
used to
can't see
that
somebody,
shit from
yeah.
playing Mill Sims like Squad and Arma, so like it doesn't even
They
phase
should
me.
lock those
but-
settings so like you can actually hide in stuff and people can't.
Well,
just...
they do that.
Well-
Like I remember there's the thing in Overwatch where it was like on one of those maps in Greece where it's like if you look through this tree and your settings are on low, it has less leaves, so you
Yeah.
can see people through the tree and shoot people.
Yeah.
So they went and patched it where now the tree looks the same depending no matter what your graphics
That's
settings
good.
are on.
And you
But
can't
PUBG
lock.
is still that like if foliage is on high, you can't see somebody hiding in a bush. If
And
it's
you
on
can't
low,
lock
Can you
graphic
change graphic
settings.
settings on your PC or on the
in the
Xbox?
game. In the,
Oh,
I don't know about
I bet
Xbox.
you can.
You
But
can't.
everybody will be playing on the same settings.
Yeah,
on
I'm
Xbox.
looking at this thing
Yeah,
here.
well,
It's saying
that's good. That's
it's
should
saying Xbox One X runs it at low 20 FPS, and then Xbox One drops below 20 FPS.
that's actually
Frequently.
really
Yeah.
bad. That's a
Well,
refund.
that's the
that's
thing,
refund
too, is
material
that,
right
like,
They
there.
rushed it out just to say, "Hey, we got it out before the end of the year."
Well,
Yeah.
they rushed out to do that, but also I think that
What's wrong?
like
Why?
we're like entering this age of consoles where it's like it used to be that like you know you would put out your PlayStation and then you don't even think about the next PlayStation until like 5-6 years down the road when you start getting teasers for it, right?
Yeah. We're in
But
this, like,
now
half-step
it's
generation.
like a new like half step is going to come out every like 18 months, every 2 years you're
No
going to get a
half
new
measures.
console, right? So they want to be like you know. They'll put out PUBG and you'll play it and you'll enjoy PUBG and you'll get frustrated with the frames and they'll be like, hey, look, the Scorpio's coming out soon and it'll run at 30 FPS all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how they're gonna sell these these like $600 consoles.
Also-
This machine will actually run the game at
Yeah.
a decent level.
Yeah, you've been playing the game. The reason you're dying is not because you're bad; it's because you have bad frames, and you would have better frames if you bought our new console.
But I mean,
Jesus
this isn't
Christ.
like Xbox One X. This isn't like Xbox's problem. This is entirely PUBG being a horrible optimized
Yeah.
piece of garbage. I mean, the One X is really powerful, but like,
Well, I think Microsoft sees this as their killer app, and I think they're gonna put a lot of
Yeah.
effort
Yeah,
into optimizing it quickly.
it will be optimized eventually. but
And in
it's
terms
just
of
like-
getting out quickly as well, I think that it's probably the end of a fiscal quarter, and like they need their reports to show that they made X amount of dollars
it
in this time.
has-
It's
yeah.
not. It's also in time for holiday sales, but like I think it's probably more of a financial
It's in
reason
time for
why they
holidays, but
got
they're
it
trying
out.
they're trying to keep their momentum because Xbox has been gaining ground on
Yeah,
PlayStation
it's
for a
been
little
doing
while.
okay.
They're trying to keep that.
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can move on from trash, unoptimized games to something that's actually giving us hope in the future. Which
What that is.
Oh,
you guys
wow.
know what it is.
That's
Come on.
great for audio. Hit the table harder.
Dragon Ball Fighter.
Oh,
Come on.
It's gonna be perfect. There's no way I'll ever be disappointed. Everyone's gonna love it.
There won't be
In fact,
any
they're just
lag.
gonna-
It'll be
they're gonna
perfect.
Stop making fighting games when this comes out because like everybody at Capcom and every Bandai Namco and whatever, is gonna be like, "Fuck it, man, it's done. We're not gonna beat it."
Yeah, Tekken tournaments are gonna be empty.
Yeah,
Street
it's
Fighter
just
tournaments
gonna
will be empty.
A,
It's
a
not
new
gonna be-
age of
I'm
Dragon
excited,
Ball.
dude, because I haven't played a 2D fighter in a while. I've been playing a lot of Tekken. You know, we've talked about Tekken here on the podcast a little bit. But Dragon Ball Fighters is going to be so good. I mean, a 2D fighter from Arc System, like they're known for their anime fighters that are like super in depth. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna handle what has to be the most like wide appealing fighting game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fucking huge. I'm really excited for it. They just announced some new characters, Hito and Beerus and Goku Black, who are all from Super. It was already like kind of confirmed that they were doing Super shit because they showed Golden Frieza at the beginning of like the announcements of this shit. But Hit is like one of the best characters in Dragon Ball that's been introduced since Super came out. Like Hit
Is that new
he's
guy,
the purple guy?
that wins all the time?
Yeah,
Like-
he his like power is like he can stop time for like a couple milliseconds,
Oh wow.
and so like that's how like his fighting style in the game is that like he has like no real projectiles, but if he gets hit with a projectile, he has a counter that just like teleports behind you. Nothing personnel, kid, right? But it's
Let's go.
super dope, dude.
Forgive me, Master. I
I've
have to go
always
out
been
all
like
night.
a fucking edgelord when it comes to like who am I gonna pick in a fighting game or whatever game where you pick your characters.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to. They have to be
League
dope.
of
like,
Legends.
they
Yeah,
have
I'm
to-
always just like I just want to pick a cool looking guy. Like if he's bad in the game, that doesn't matter.
That's why I
wanna
picked
play the
Karthus,
cool
baby.
Looking character. Yeah.
Karthus isn't a cool looking character.
Are you
He's a
kidding me? He's a
skeleton
freaking
ghost, dude.
flying
He's a
sorcerer
stupid-
skeleton that can kill everyone at one
He's
time.
A dumb little.
Fight me.
Oh man. All right, whatever.
He also has a good voiceover too.
Yeah.
Um,
And he has an American Eagle skin.
Yeah,
Or
and
not
Hit-
American Eagle.
yeah, the
a
Statue of
Statue of
Liberty.
Liberty skin. Not the designer outlet.
Yeah,
that I
Hit
was
looks
referring
super
to.
dope. The game looks well made, as opposed to like previous Dragon Ball games, which are like in like Xenoverse in the form of like those like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games, which are like fun and it's fun to run through the campaign, especially as like it's
No
it's
depth,
good for
though.
like if you are a fan of the series already. It's not gonna get you into Naruto. It's not gonna get you into Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's just gonna spoil everything
yeah,
for
it's
you
just for
anyway.
like fans of the series to play through because like I've seen like minor complaints from just a couple idiots on Twitter of like people who are like fans of like the Budokai games and the Xenoverse games where they're just like, I want my game to have 160 characters and I don't care that like nobody wants to play like the fucking little Cybermen little
Yeah.
like you know and nobody wants to see like there's Goku, SSJ2 Goku, SSJ3 Goku, SSJ4 Goku, Gogeta, Go Tanks, like 17 different kinds of Goku and you only play 2 and like who wants to come into this game and be like, yeah, dude, my favorite character is Yajirobe, you know, and I gotta play that guy. Like, how many of you even fucking know who that
but
guy is?
Yeah.
Like,
It's also just like it's like an actual fighting game where like characters need to be different.
no, yeah, that's what I'm liking is that like they cut the roster. It's only gonna be like what, like 20, 22 characters, something like that.
Which
Yeah,
it'll
it's like-
expand.
Well, yeah, well, like
Yeah.
DLC characters are coming up, but like these characters are gonna be worked on so that they will be different from other characters. Not just
And it'll
gonna
be
like
more
a clone
balanced. The more
who
characters
looks
you
a
add, the
different
harder
way. Yeah.
it is to balance.
Yeah, because they did say that they're trying to do a thing that was in the Budokai games where like they're trying to keep the power levels kind of canonically consistent. So like you can't just like
It's over
pick
5,000.
Yamcha and just shit on Frieza, right? Yamcha is like a fucking garbage character. He's
Yeah.
cool and he's dope in Dragon Ball, but this is not Dragon Ball. This is Dragon Ball Fighters.
So does that mean they're not going to
Super.
add characters that wouldn't be able to fight the characters in
Well,
the
they
show?
are, but they're saying like there's some characters. It's a 3v3 fighting game.
Hmm.
So with like tag in and tag out, and like so they're saying is that like some of like the quote unquote weaker characters are going to be more suited to being like support characters. So like yeah, maybe Yamcha's not going to be your main dude, but he can come out and do like the Wolf Fang Fist for his like special, and
Oh.
he'll help you out. Like he's really good as a combo.
That's
with
interesting.
if you have like Yamcha and like Goku.
That adds a
work
little
well
layer
together.
to the game. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Not
And
everybody's
if you want to
OP.
like fucking BM and you're a god of the game, you can pick Yamcha as your main character.
be
just
like one of
shit
those
on
little,
him,
just
yeah.
little
Which
shits.
is all you really want to do in a fighting game. Is
Yeah.
just find new and interesting
Find the hardest
ways
character to
to
play.
BM,
That's
dude.
the worst character, and shit on the most OP characters.
There you
That's
go.
the way to prove that your dick is bigger than everyone else's. Surefire way. I really like the. I'm super happy with the art style they took. It's like the
It
Guilty
looks
Gear art
so
style.
good. It
It's like an
looks
anime.
So good.
It's very
And
crisp
so
and clean.
True to the like manga and the anime, like the way that the characters like move and the animations and like the powers and shit. It's so
Oh, yeah.
true to the show. And it's
I'm
awesome
really-
as a fan.
Art style is a big thing for me in games.
Yeah.
There's some things, some games I just
It
can't
just
get
looks
into
good, and it's
'cause-
nice to see like another like colorful game. The backgrounds are colorful, the characters are colorful, the explosions are not just like one monotone.
Yeah, like
thing,
PUBG,
like-
man. Even with PUBG, like, I can't even look at that game for very
It's
long.
a-
It just
it's
looks
a
so
different-
gray.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
just like a yellow.
I know, but I'm
gray
just talking
game.
like even Fortnite makes me happier to play. It just looks not. I don't know. I just don't like dark gray,
That's
shitty
fair. I
like
mean, we had a lot of
colors.
Like,
That's
very
been that has
washed
been
out
like the
military
zeitgeist, like all like since like probably like Gears of War in like 2006. I've been like since that game came out on the scene, everyone's like, "Oh, dude, gritty, dark, gray, brown, and yellow games." That's
Yeah.
what.
What,
I
you-
could use a
Least
little
amount of
color.
color as
Yeah.
possible.
You don't want to feel sad while listening to Mad World forever?
That I still remember.
That was
That's
a
how great that was. I still remember that
Yeah.
fucking commercial.
That was the beginning of putting like
The grim-
melancholy
Yeah, yeah,
like songs
yeah.
over like video games to like invoke emotion and like
But kind of talking about like adding like more cool things to a game with Dragon Ball Fighters, they're doing like these they're called like dramatic finishers or like
Oh, like the special story only.
yeah. So
finishes?
like certain things like if Goku
you're, like-
wins against Frieza or whatever, he'll do
Oh, there's like some lore attached
yeah,
to it. That's
they'll do
dope.
like a special outro where like
Mm-hmm.
Frieza will try and like do the like a beam or whatever at him
like in the show where he tries to destroy Namek
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Goku
and
like
he,
cuts
like-
him in half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah.
drastically different from what other fighting games have been doing with like specialized
Yeah, but it's just,
interactions
like-
between like with
I mean, they'll have,
It's-
like special voice lines maybe sometimes, but
Yeah,
not
it's like these characters are rivals
Yeah,
and they
they're
have like a
straight up
special
cutscenes.
line.
I thought
Cutscenes.
Injustice did something like that.
Injustice
with
is also gigantic, like,
Sure.
and also they didn't do like special cutscenes.
But it's still like,
Okay.
yeah,
It's
there's
voice
stuff that
lines.
like just as a function of coming from like such a huge IP already, it has all this lore to take from,
Yeah.
you know, that like, and the thing that's like pretty much only in anime is like your signature move, you know. So like Kid Gohan has like the father son Kamehameha that he does against Cell in the show, you know, like there is not an equivalent of that like. You know, the Batman did this move when he was fighting Joker. There's like
Yeah.
the only thing you think of is like Bane breaking his back is like an iconic like finisher move, you know.
Yeah.
But in Injustice, it's a regular move that Bane does. It's not well, it is like his ultimate, I think, that he can do.
Yeah.
But like if you're playing Bane against Batman and you do the backbreaker, he doesn't like say some like special
just
shit
go,
like
I was born in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most I've really seen is just like Tekken, you know, for instance, the Mishimas, they all have little lines where they interact with each other.
Yeah,
But
I
nothing
mean,
like on this scale.
yeah.
This,
Dragon Ball.
I feel like this just adds like going back to saying it's going to be a very widely casual. Not like it's like
Not
gonna
a
be
casual, but it's gonna appeal
Yeah.
to people who normally would never be interested.
Yeah.
People will purely
Because of
play
the
the game
IP.
because it's dope.
Yeah.
Because like cool characters.
Exactly.
It's Dragon Ball Z. This is my childhood.
Yep.
Let's go. And,
And so I feel like just adding like this extra layer of just like
Yeah.
oh. Frieza and Goku do something cool when you like beat each
Yeah.
other. That's awesome.
And the game
instant
does
fan.
have like a gameplay mechanic for like new players who like probably don't even want to get into fighting games, but they want to play it, where it has like the easy combo system where you basically
Yeah.
just keep mashing like 2 buttons and you do a full combo. It's not like an optimized combo. You'll still lose to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it can make it more fun than like just button mashing. Like button mashing will do a combo and it'll look cool and you'll string these moves together and you'll finish with a big finisher. Like
Yeah.
it's fun if you're coming into like your first fighting game.
do we know if there's actually if it's going to stay at that base level or if there's going to be a deeper?
No, the game
aspect
is
to the
like
game.
super deep. I'm just saying it has
Is
these
it?
things in there to appeal to people who are like
Well,
new at fighting games and
Will
don't
it
want
be
to
deep
take
on the
time.
scale of Pokken Tournament, or is it
Way
further?
more,
than-
Yeah.
way more.
Oh,
than
great.
Pokemon.
It's deeper than Pokken Tournament. We don't know how deep it is.
Yeah,
It's safe to assume it's not going to be as deep as something like Guilty Gear or BlazBlue.
Yeah, but
because
it's
those
like-
are like
Those are one of the deeper
Inhibitively,
games.
it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be that
Yeah,
deep.
so like, I don't know how deep. I mean, it can't be like crazy deep because it's like I said, it's gonna be like a widely, it's gonna be like a widely like appealed to kind of game.
Is
so.
it deep enough to be taken seriously?
yes, it
Yes.
will
Yeah.
it will be at Evo.
Okay.
It'll be at
Oh,
all the
for
fighting
sure.
game tournaments.
But I mean, Evo's kind of just like a popularity contest.
That's true.
yeah, but it'll have like a circuit. I don't know if it's gonna have like a pro tour like they've been doing for these other games, Tekken and Street Fighter and the rest of them. But it'll be at the tournaments and you'll be able to watch it on Twitch. And I'm sure it'll get big viewers when it first comes out. It's just to see the staying power of it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was actually watching a video about this the other day. Like, part of the most fun a fighting game can be is like playing it near its release, like when everyone sucks, because a lot of games like the people that don't really like it will wash out, and all you have are people that like really enjoy the game
Hardcore.
and like hardcore players. So like, I think this is gonna be really cool for people that like this is their first fighting game because it's
Yeah.
gonna be everyone's playing it.
Yeah,
Also
you're gonna be
getting
able
it
to go
on
online
release.
and not just get your fucking
Yes,
shit rocked
that's
by
what I was about
somebody
to
who
say.
played like when you turn
All
on
the
Tekken
games
7,
before.
you have to play against somebody who's been playing since Tekken 2, and they just
Yeah.
fucking destroy you. You don't even know why or how you lost.
Yeah, that
like
was
in
the
this one,
point.
you're gonna be able to turn it on and play against somebody who also just got the game and never played a fighting game before. They just like Dragon Ball like you do.
Yeah, that was the point I was about to make as well. Yeah, it's just I hate with Street Fighter or Tekken. I'd log in
Yeah.
and some people have been playing forever and you just
Yeah.
get destroyed. And I think my favorite part of this Dragon Ball Fighter game is that I'm gonna be able to log in. I'm gonna be able to be on it. It's almost like a fresh start for everyone. Everybody, obviously, people are gonna get way better than me because I'm not that good at games, but I'm going to be able to log in and have a fair chance from the beginning and just on an even playing field as most people, even with you guys. None of us have been playing it. None of us know what to expect, so we can all hop in. We can all suck at the same time. We can all have like just ridiculous amounts of 1v1s where we all just get shit on each other and then we learn things. And I'm really looking forward to that.
It's gonna be
But
so
speaking
cool,
of crazy tournament fighting games, did anybody see the Capcom Cup finals or anything like that?
Ooh, I watched
With
it, but it was on
Meta
my
RD.
second monitor, so it's not like I was looking
That
at
shit
it.
was fucking crazy. Huge upset with the winner of
Yeah.
Capcom Cup was
Yeah.
this dude Mena RD. He's from the Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
and the dude won like 500K, and which is like. It's a lot for an American, but like to go to the Dominican Republic, it's awesome to see this dude win because like they interviewed all the top 8 players, like, what are you gonna do if you win the money? And people were like, oh, I'm gonna afford to get married, I'm gonna put a down payment on my house, I'm gonna do this, and this guy is like, I'm gonna build an arcade because there's nowhere for kids to go in the Dominican Republic
That's
to
dope.
like hang out.
Did he really
You know,
say that?
yeah, that's what he's using the money for.
And he could probably make it happen there.
Yeah, yeah, because like that's so
a lot of
much
money
money
there.
in there,
Yeah.
and like it's so much money here, but like it's even more fucking over there. It's awesome that this dude won it. But they also announced afterward all of the year 2 characters, including Sagat, who's gonna be fucking dope,
Yep.
and a bunch of other characters people are looking forward to. Blanca is coming out,
Wait, is this year 2 or year 3?
maybe year 3, year 2018. I don't know what fucking
There
year.
it is.
Yeah, they like 5 characters are coming out. I think 3 of them are new original characters, and the other ones are Blanca and Sagat. And who's the one guy is G with the top hat. And
Yeah, I don't know who that is. It looks
yeah,
like an Abraham
he looks
Lincoln.
Pizza Man
interesting.
gonna be in it?
Yeah, no, he looks like fucking what's his name? The fucking World of Warcraft dude who turns into a wolf.
A
And-
Worgen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gen
God.
Greymane?
Greymane, that's what he
How
looks
do you-
like. He looks like
that's-
fucking Greymane.
We don't even know. How do you fucking know that character?
I know it.
Here's the Storm is the only
Here's
reason I
the
know.
Oh, fair.
Greymane's in Heroes?
No, yeah, he's
Yeah.
in Heroes. I played him. He's fun in
Okay.
Heroes.
Yeah.
But
he-
the guy in Street Fighter just looks like Greymane. He wears a top hat and he has a beard.
Yeah,
Like
it looks
dope.
like it's year 2.
yeah. And also, they announced like a special 35th anniversary Street Fighter that is coming out on, I guess, consoles and PC, but I'm excited for it to come out on Switch. That's going to have like Street Fighter 2 and all the versions of 3, so motherfucking Third Strike on the Switch is going to be so dope. And I think Street Fighter 4 is going to be included too. So it's like this huge anthology of Street Fighter games. I think it's only going to be like $40. It's like not even a full price game for all these like complete finished games if you're not excited or happy with the way Street Fighter 5 is even still today.
I mean,
That's awesome.
I'm really hoping the arcade edition.
I hope Arcade Edition fixes everything. I want Street Fighter to be good. I want to play Sagat because he's the fucking man. But yeah, I won't say I'm hopeful, but I want Street Fighter to be good.
I'm really happy that
And I can guarantee that Third Strike is going to be dope on the Switch.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Third Strike one of those games that's really fun at like a lower level, but if you like, maybe this is Street Fighter 4 that I'm thinking of actually. Now that I'm really thinking about
Don't
it,
look
like
at me,
that-
I don't know.
Like, when you get more competitive, it just turns into this like garbage kind of like.
People
thing.
complained about it. Well, with Street Fighter 4 specifically, like the meta at the end of Street Fighter 4's lifetime was not fun to watch and fun to play against because what happened was you started basically it was just like people figured out the most optimized combos. So it's like Evil Ryu does the most damage. If you have perfect execution, you do the most damage playing Evil Ryu. So you should always play Evil Ryu. And besides Evil Ryu, you can play Elena, who her ultra move heals her. So you basically have all these fucking games with Elena that go to timeout, which is just not fun to play.
think we
Every
discussed this
round,
on a podcast,
yeah, I
didn't
think
we?
I've talked
We
about this
talked
before. But like
about
every
this.
round
Sounds
will
very
go
familiar.
all the way to the end of the timer, and it's like not fun. It turns the games into a slog. But it's like if you
Yeah.
want to win at the highest levels, you got to play Elena or Evil Ryu. That's your choice.
that's actually a complaint I have with even Smash Melee. So you have 4 characters? you
Yeah,
can
that's
play?
what people like. That's the thing about Third Strike too. That's a function of just any competitive fighting game that is that old. People have concentrated the meta down to like we know that this is the best. So even in Third Strike, it's like you better play Ken or you better play Chun-Li if you're gonna play against like a really good fucking player because those are the 2 best characters bar none.
That's too bad, and it's really hard to avoid
And
that.
Yang
in
was really
games.
fucking good in 4. That was a fucking bitch to fight against.
But I mean, also like Melee, you were saying like there's only like 4 characters, but that's also it just comes with the fact that like people stick to what they know. I
Well-
mean, there was that guy that picked out or brought out Yoshi and like
Yeah,
moved him
AMSA.
up, like,
That's the
several
thing is that
tiers.
like the meta is not like set forever. It's just like especially as like as Americans, it's just like our region. Like that Yoshi player came over from Japan and
Yeah.
showed everybody that hey, Yoshi's a viable character. And Fucking what's his name? Axe is a melee player who plays Pikachu, and Pikachu is now like a top tier or like second to top tier character who would not have been like a year ago or 2 years ago.
Wow.
You know, so like it's not that the meta can't change, but it is like definitely
wish it was more
harder to
broadened.
change as the game gets older.
I mean, when was Melee released though?
like 2003,
Some
4,
crazy
I don't know.
like that.
Yeah,
that is
early
an
2000s.
old game. I
It really
mean,
is.
I don't know. I don't know if you can expect too much from it.
That's just why,
Two
yeah.
years.
I mean, we suck, so I enjoyed Project M because I could play anybody and we could have a good time. Even Ganondorf was really fun in that.
I mean, 4 has a wider variance of
Ganondorf's
fine
accepted.
and
4 doesn't have
but
that ceiling.
Yeah, you have
that's-
to play on. 4's not as fast, so it's like.
Was there actually a high skill ceiling in 4, or was it? Did it
There's
cap
like
out
a.
pretty quick.
I don't know how.
I
I'll
mean,
say
define high skill.
yeah.
Ceiling. Like for us, like we'll
Somebody
never reach it.
with, for instance, 1,000 hours could beat somebody with 500 hours.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it is in most like 1v1 games, though.
Yeah. But
So
I didn't know if there was like just only so much you can learn, and then it just comes down to mind games.
no,
you
it's
know?
not like Mario Party level of skill ceiling. Where it's just like
Yeah.
purely up to God to determine who wins that game.
Mario Party. Those are great games.
No, they are not good, dude.
They're fucking
I'm
fantastic
always-
games, dude. Ian just hates fun.
God, no, I don't hate fun, man.
You can't even like win.
You can't even min-max in
Okay,
Mario Party.
don't lump me in
I'm
with,
glad
this,
I'm out
with
of
this
this.
Matt Weiss kind of character. All right, I'm down for
You're
fun.
working on it.
I'm down for fun, but Mario Party is like Monopoly levels of frustrating, where you're just like,
Dude, those
But
mini
that's
games
why
in
it's
Mario
fun
Party
because you can
64
play it
were
with your
unreal.
friends who like don't play games and they can win and you can get salty and that's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to drink if you're playing Mario Party. That
Not
is the
true.
only fun you can have with the game.
Not true.
That is 100% true. It's actually written
You're a
on the
sad little man.
on the back of the box. It says you must consume some amount of alcohol to enjoy this game.
I heard when you buy the original edition, it comes with a bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah, it comes with a bottle of liquor. I'm not sure if
Of
it's
your
Jaeger.
choice?
Yeah, it's
So
you actually
you
email
fill out a
Nintendo.
custom.
Yeah,
Okay.
they fly it out to you.
Oh, really? That's cool. I
That's
can't wait to
crazy.
buy my package. What did they name that? They named it like a special edition, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it was Mario Party Actual Fun Edition.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's
Well,
wild.
we'll look it up. Hopefully, you guys will buy it
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Well, moving on from that, we don't really have a whole lot else to talk about. I know, Matt, you've been playing a few things that you would like to speak about.
Yeah, I've been playing Battlefront 2. Past all the hate and
the
everything.
new Battlefront.
The new
Not the
Battlefront
OG
2.
Battlefront
And maybe a little bit of the old one. You know, got to download the old one, install Movie Battles 2.
Oh fucking yeah, dude!
It's
It's always a classic. No Droidecas in the new Battlefront 2 that makes the OG one better. Like just flat out, you can't be a Droideca.
Sure. Past all the microtransaction stuff, which they have fixed, I can confirm. Star cards are still lame. Like, there's still crates in the game, but it's all in-game currency, and they give you so much of the in-game currency. There's not a whole lot to complain about unless you just want to complain about the fact that there are crates.
But I mean, like even if I think EA this should just be a horrible experience for them, and it has been. But I want it to be even worse. Like you said you bought it on sale for like $35.
Yeah, it's
So it's
$35 right now on PSN, Origin, and I assume it's also $35 on Xbox because of the release of Last
I
Jedi.
want them to like keep making it go on sale for less and less, and to still lose money on it. Like, I want them
Okay.
to
Yeah,
not-
they need to be punished.
Like I want them to be punished.
They have
the game
been.
to die
They need to
altogether.
be continually punished forever
Yeah.
because they're not going to be like, sorry guys, we learned our lesson. We're never going to do it again. They're going to do it the next fucking EA game that comes out.
They need to be made an example of. Like, they seriously need to, that whole style
Okay.
of business needs to be shut the hell down.
They
Not
need
even
to be
kidding.
burned at the
They need to be like the guy that was a
Oh
traitor
my.
and got his
Yeah.
head chopped off in front of the whole army and then fed to the dogs.
No, but like honestly,
That style.
I feel like them putting it on sale just means that hey, like they really fucked up. But I want them to continuously realize how bad they fucked up.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone should assume they haven't learned or have learned. Like, who knows? Like, I
I
mean,
would assume that they
they
haven't
definitely
learned.
suffered. I think what came out is they were projecting 14 to 15 million sales, and they ended up with 12 million, which is still like an absurd
Pretty
amount of
solid, yeah.
sales. But I mean, as of right now, until they actually put it back in the game, I'm not gonna complain too much about it because
No, that's the thing. They put it on sale and they're like, all right, we're taking microtransactions out for now.
Yeah,
but
but
they're gonna put it back in, and it's like
they
you
haven't-
haven't learned shit.
it's still the jury's still out on whether or not they're going to.
I mean, they've said they're going to.
They said that was their
Most
original
games that
statement.
take it out and put in for now,
They're just
usually,
gonna wait
the
for
history
all the
says
hate
it brings
to
it
die
back.
They're gonna wait.
Maybe, but that's what everyone's
leak 'em
assuming.
slowly
And if
back in.
everyone's assuming
yeah,
that,
but
then they
why
might
is
not.
everyone assuming it?
yeah.
Well,
It's
my
because
point,
EA has been a shitty company for
They're pay-
years now, and they will continue to be
They're
in
pay-
the future because they want money. They don't care about making a good game. They
They're-
don't care about you having fun.
Yeah,
They
we're
want
sitting here
money.
talking about them caring about like things that we're saying, like, oh, they feel
Yeah.
bad because no, they don't give
They
a
don't
fuck.
give a
no, they
shit.
don't give a fuck.
It's
No
just another
company
business
does, by
strategy.
the way. This is
Yeah.
all about money for everyone.
I
So
don't know
I
if
don't know.
that's necessary.
That is 100%
No, for like
true.
AAA games, big
Yeah.
companies, not
So
like
that's
an indie
no
game.
different
Sure.
than any other
mean-
company.
I
And
mean-
the point is right now is that they're paying attention, and everyone assumes they're going to put it back in, and everyone's going to be mad about it. And if they're paying attention, they're not going to put it back in
But no
because
one's
Yeah, so
attention.
so the
Everyone's
lesson
paying
from
attention.
that should be
Yeah, for
is
now, but they're gonna
to
wait.
but the
I don't know.
the lesson that you should learn from that is to not let off the gas. Don't
Yeah.
let them off the hook.
Yeah.
Because if everybody was just like, "Oh, EA's great again," they would do it again. If you stay mad, they'll keep trying to get you back on their
but
good
okay,
side.
and
Yeah.
also like, do you guys have no sympathy for Dice at all in
No,
this
none.
scenario?
No,
None.
Why? What
Because,
did
like-
Dice do?
I mean, they make great games, but it's not like they're gonna lose fucking shit. Like EA is still gonna give them the next.
This has
Battlefront.
been consistent with Dice. Even in all
This
the
is-
good Battlefield games have come out
No,
shitty.
this is consistent with EA, not Dice.
No,
like,
the
Dice and
microtransaction
Criterion-
things, but Dice like
Okay,
No one's putting Dice under fire though.
yeah, and I don't even like to be honest. I didn't even know who that was because it's always just EA getting flamed, not Dice.
Exactly, because no one is going like, God damn it, Dice. how
I've
could
never
you?"
seen a single comment negatively talking about Dice.
I mean,
yeah, well, but you're still like
EA isn't gonna fuck
swearing
Dice
off
up.
the game Dice has created and not separating it from
Well,
the
if you
publisher
play it, it's
at
a
all.
fun game.
I will buy
Yeah.
it if they sell it for $1.
yeah, I'd buy it if it's like very cheap.
99
next
cents actually.
year.
Let's. I want to not have. I want to pay less to buy a Coke.
I would like to rather pay. Like, I agree that everyone should keep the foot on the gas, but also like the current state of the game is good. As of right now, the game today is in a good place,
And that's
like,
the problem with patching.
But and I mean I just don't want to like completely dismiss the game because right now they did make the changes everyone was yelling for, and this jury's still out on what they're going to do next, and no one's giving up on it. But you can still like go play like actually what's a really good Star Wars game. Like it might actually be the best Battlefront thus far.
I agree with you, but I just think the only thing is it's too soon to hop back into it. I say give them 6 months or a year, and if things are still going in the right direction, then sure buy into it and support them again. But if you buy back into it too soon and they think it's just a slap on the wrist and that they can just refurbish themselves instantly and be fixed.
This is. I know we've talked about it before. Siege is a good example where like it had a fuck ton of problems at launch. And it did not deserve your money, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a good game, like you're saying.
That's
but
kind of
there-
what I was thinking.
There
Just
was
siege
a ton
aspect.
of problems, yeah. And like, so they listened to the people, and it's now more popular than it was before. So I mean, Battlefront 2 could do the exact same thing. I mean, like,
They are doing it.
yeah,
That's
so
happening.
then give them time.
Yeah, I just
But-
want to see
but
consistency.
I don't think buying into it right now is a good idea.
There's nothing in the game that's offensive. I don't like. It's,
No, but the fact is
No,
that
that's
there
not-
was
that's not the
stuff in
point.
it that was
Yeah.
offensive.
It's stuff
is
that they
bad
could-
enough
that they
you
could bring
should not
back.
put your money into it.
And again, like they lost 1.5 million
instance-
sales out of 14
for instance,
million
you have
projected.
you have
like
a,
there has been no difference in sales. All the sales actually probably isn't the deciding factor in this as much as the legislature that's been threatened against
for
them.
instance, you have a
If you spend $30 on the game, it's not going to hurt them, or whether you
Well,
do
I'm
or
gonna spend
don't.
$1 on the game.
say somebody
luck.
wronged you horribly and they have a past of wronging you horribly, like they stole from your mother or something, right? And they're punished for it. They know, and they're sorry at the time because you're really mad at them. But then they say they're gonna have good behavior for like a week, and you're like, okay, that's fine. We're best friends again. I'm gonna trust you here. Go and have the key to my house. And you're not going to do that because they have a shittier history. And if they show that good behavior for like a year or two, and they're consistent, then you'd be like, okay, now we're going to start giving you more privileges back. Same kind of thing. If you just reward somebody for instantly for like, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up here,
You
for a
can't
week.
just like
Yeah.
be awful and then say you're sorry and expect everyone
Yeah,
to forgive
we
you.
took microtransactions out for a little bit. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
not,
Well-
everybody buy the game, and then they can be like, boom.
For
throw 'em
now,
right back
for
in.
now, it's indefinite. It may never come back. So, like, I
You're
don't.
saying for now.
Yeah, you're
it's
saying like
indefinite,
it may
but that-
never come back. I feel like you're like leaning on
Yeah.
like trusting EA.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the that's
It's
the
like-
point I'm trying to
but
make. Is
the-
you can't trust a liar. You can't
said
trust
their
somebody that.
statement was that the fact that they're going to put it back in at a future time.
That was the statement from like a month ago, but then they were also talking about how they're just gonna like redesign it entirely. And then also, if it becomes a $15 game with microtransactions, do you care then?
What do you mean? If
Like
it's-
the whole issue was that it was $60 of microtransactions. Do you care if it's a $15 game with
It depends
microtransactions?
on how offensive.
Yeah, it depends on
'Cause
what
it's
the-
already
it depends on what
35.
the microtransactions do.
If it's offensive and it's like if I'm blatantly paying to get better at the game, then yeah.
Sure. Okay.
If it's like, hey man, you want a cool ass fucking costume? I am one.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
want to have one of those cool like painted on
Yeah.
stormtrooper helmets.
And
shit,
I know people have been pushing them to make it cosmetic.
Or
only.
unlock a Jedi, you know, like just
Yeah.
things like that, which, you know,
I mean, like,
that wouldn't even
I
be
don't
too
know.
bad.
yeah, no, like I'm down if it's like a cheaper game. I mean, God, I'm sucking Siege's dick, but like, it's with that kind of style where it's like you can buy like a cheap edition or even like the more expensive edition, but you still have to pay for unlocks.
Beyond okay, well, my original point was beyond like all the microtransaction stuff is it's actually like the best Battlefront I've played since Battlefront, like since the OG
I don't
Battlefront.
disagree. The game's probably really fun.
It's
more
it's
of the
really fun.
it's more of the whole concept of their actions.
It strikes me as a very like
I-
sit on the couch, play with your friends. Kinda
Sure, and like,
yeah.
and you don't have to look past their actions, but like, I would rather right now at least because there's a game there that's like worth talking about and worth playing, and no one's talking about the game.
What do you mean?
like-
Nobody's talking about.
No one's talking about the game. Everyone's just talking about microtransactions, which are a
But
non-issue
that's,
right
that's
now.
true.
But that's part of the
I don't
game,
hear
though.
anybody talking about the game.
No one's
No,
talking about the
because,
game.
Like, it's so
Because we
it's
shouldn't
so
be playing
fucking
it.
offensive. Exactly. Like, I mean, I've seen streamers play it, and I've seen like I've heard mixed things about the game.
Yeah, to me the game seems like fine. It doesn't
It's better
seem
than
like-
you think.
seem
Everyone
abominable.
is.
Yeah.
It's better than you think. Everyone is so like caught up in everything that even when they're talking about the game, it all like when I just try to talk about the game, it all went immediately to microtransactions,
No, I
even though
agree.
they're not even in the game
But
right
it's
now.
so hand in hand. Like, it's,
Like-
I mean, they're so intertwined that it's like
It's
impossible
not.
to separate.
I can separate it because I'm playing the game and there's no microtransactions. It's very easy to separate it, believe it or not, when there's no
I feel like there's just
microtransactions
a
in the
big
game.
there's a big point that you're not really hitting on here. That it's
No, I'm trying to ignore the point and like actually talk about the game because like no
Okay,
one
well, then-
does.
hop
Well,
into
yeah,
the
but
game.
that's like
Let's-
the, that's like the
let's
point that
drop-
we're trying to make is that like you should not even consider the game if they're gonna do these things that they did with.
But
the
let's get the
microtransactions.
alternative opinion. Let's hear what the game's actually like.
Yeah,
let's hear
let's
some.
hear
the
Let's
wrong
drop the
opinion.
microtransactions.
Why is the game so good?
Let's drop the microtransactions.
It is a
and just
fuck
hear
ton of
Matt's.
fun, and like it's refreshing to play a game, a shooter specifically in 2017, where it's not even trying to be a competitive game. Like it is a shooter for fun. It reminds me of playing like Battlefield 2 and like Battlefield 1942, where no one was like talking about skill cap or skill ceiling or anything like that. It's just like a game about spectacle. And it's fucking fun. And like there's a snowball effect with the battle point system where if you're a good player, you get more battle points and then you can spend that to like play as a hero or as a tank.
So you can carry.
And yeah, like you can carry in a way that's like absolutely insanely fun. Where if you start snowballing, you'll go from like playing a normal assault soldier to playing a tank and like decimating 20 people. And then you get to fucking play as like Darth Maul and jump all over the fucking place and just
That's
like
sick.
it's just like
undoubtedly cool.
it's a lot of fun and it's like not trying to be more than what it wants to be, which I think is untrue about Battlefront, like the first one. Like it felt like it was trying to have more, I guess, of an edge, whereas this one they were like, all right, let's look at Battlefront 2, and like people have made tables of content and like compared Battlefront 2 from 2005 to Battlefront 2 2017, and they have about the exact same number of heroes, same number of maps. Like this is enough content, which was the main complaint about the first game, to justify like its existence. It's a really fun game, and it's like just fun to hop in and play and the sound design is fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah,
that
the
I
sound
know is
design is.
incredible.
I feel like that's why people are so passionate about it, like being angry about it, because it is probably a really fun game, and that's an experience that a lot
Sure.
of people are missing out on because it's just it was so
Yeah.
riddled with problems, and people don't want to support that at this point. So they're even saltier because it's like, well, now I can't even play this game that I want to because I'm trying to stand strong with my opinion and what's right.
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
It sounds like a lot of fun though. I mean, something I would definitely consider playing
It's-
if they continue to have these good behaviors for an extended period of time, rather than just saying they're going to do it and then maybe changing down the road.
Sure.
Because I mean, it's a big deal right now, but like 6 months from now, it's gonna seem like nothing. This whole like explosion.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
following your guys' logic, everyone's gonna inevitably forget about it. So,
Yeah, I mean, like
like,
20.
everyone's going to forget about all this, and they're just gonna put it back in the next game. And Doom saying
That's
microtransactions are the end of
fully what I
everything.
believe is gonna happen.
Then why not just drop the $30 and play a fucking awesome Star Wars game with no microtransaction today, instead of like standing so steadfast
don't wanna give
and
you
waiting
my
for
money.
inevitable
Yeah, I don't want
Doom?
Because I mean, I get that other people will do it, but I don't. Want
Yeah,
to
it's
do
like you want to have your principles out. I don't want to
Yeah.
support
Again,
this company
I-
under any circumstances.
I don't think it's like,
it. Do you
again,
have principles, Matt?
I don't think it's going to be like sales or whatever that makes or break it. I think it's going to be the legislators that make and break
Like
it,
if-
and child gambling laws. That's going to be the actual weapon.
I don't think that any shit is going to come of that.
The-
legislation. Nothing
literally yesterday, the guy from Hawaii that's kind of leading legislation in the U.S. released like a 10-minute update, kind of documentary style video, talking about exactly how he's been calling representatives from other states and talking about putting in legislature
Wow.
for microtransaction boxes. That is what will actually do damage to EA, not whether
I'll
or
believe when I
not,
see it.
not whether or not people.
And that shit is not going to come to pass for like 2 years. And then by the time it becomes a big ticket issue, we got fucking dogs going off now. By the time it becomes like a big ticket issue in like the political scene in America, you're gonna have investors and lobbyists from people like the Vegas casinos who have a vested interest in keeping the gambling laws the way that they are. That we don't want to fuck shit up for $1 billion industry. The people who own these fucking casinos are trying to make money and keep it the way that it is. Like
The money's gonna win every time.
I am very, very skeptical and unhopeful that any legislation will change microtransactions in video games
Sure,
in
and
America.
God bless.
as long as you can, people that buy the game, people that own Battlefront 2 right now, like, and they put microtransactions in, the people that are playing it every day are going to be the vocal majority that then freak the fuck out when they put it back in.
Yeah.
So, like, you could also just follow that line of logic and be like, the more people that are playing Battlefront, the more people you'll have screaming at EA.
Yeah, but like also, they'll scream at EA and EA will say, "We already got your money."
Yeah, we already have your.
But they want to continue to get their money.
Yeah, and they think that they will in the future because, like, we knew EA did this horrible shit. This is not the first time EA has fucked up a game with microtransactions. And people were saying leading up to this one coming out, remember EA's shitty, remember EA's shitty, and all the fucking nerds are like, oh, but it's Star Wars, and so they bought it anyways, and they sold 12 million fucking copies. And yeah, they didn't meet their projected expectations of 15, but they still sold 12 million copies.
Exactly. So
off of people who like don't give a shit if they're getting fucked in the ass by EA.
So if they sold 12 million copies, then why would they remove microtransactions? Why
They
would they?
would not.
If they just wanted, no, they did though. I mean, they removed Why did they do that
Yeah,
if
because
they
they've
already
been
sold a
getting
shit ton?
gunned down in the media
Exactly. The media,
for right now.
people complaining.
Yeah, so
the
let me-
legislation is what has power here,
So
not
let-
the number of players.
Let me tell you what's easier to fix than taking microtransactions out of your game entirely. They took it out of Battlefront, right? Because they're trying to like stop this fucking leak right now, right? But what's way easier than changing your whole gameplay system is to get a better PR department and change the names that you call your loot boxes and trick people into saying, well, it's not loot boxes, it's fun cubes.
Fuck you.
And if that happens,
Random crates.
and if they actually do that, and I'm still playing Battlefront 2, trust me, I'll be the first one to complain about it. I just believe that the current state is fine, and I
EA shill.
no, I'm skeptical, but the current state of the game is fine, and I think that's what should matter right now. And when they do fuck it up, inevitably, like people doomsay,
I don't know.
then be vocal about it again. But like refusing to buy the game because of what happened over the past month, I just don't agree with it. When
And
the
I
current
don't
state
agree
is
with-
fine.
And I don't agree with ignoring the context of a
Yeah.
game and only looking at the game in a vacuum of like, well, if you only look at Battlefront in December, it's a great game, but Battlefront in November was trash. You know?
Technically,
You
the
should
game
not
didn't even
have
make
such
it
a
to
short
market
memory.
with microtransactions. They had 1 day of microtransactions. That was it. This game hasn't even existed with microtransactions at any single point. At no point has Battlefront 2 had microtransactions.
I mean, it's also just like the credit system was so offensive. I mean, like they changed it now, but it used to be like, you earn credits so slowly. The unlocks were incredibly like grindy for a $60 game, right?
Yeah, for like a day.
To encourage, but it was to encourage. It was the
Yeah.
They're
released,
trying
but
to
they
force you to buy
they
microtransactions.
fixed it
They
immediately.
fixed it because
They
people
got blown
got
up.
pissed off. They
Yeah.
don't want to make a game
Yeah.
for you to have fun. They want to make a game to make money. And if you get in the way of them making money, they'll change it.
Yeah, so now you're
But
giving
you're giving them
their
money and rewarding them
That's
for
true for everything. Like that's true
yeah.
for
So
everything.
that's true for everything. So you should
So never
not
buy
support-
any game because they're all trying to rob you of your
No,
money.
No,
you,
because,
no, don't
like-
buy a game that has shitty practices in it.
It
Yeah.
never did.
It
Literally,
did.
What do you mean it
What do
never
you mean
did?
it never
for
did?
16 hours it did. It was fixed day one.
Because they got blown up in the media.
Okay.
So you can't say they never did. They never did for 16 hours. That's literally
That's
an amount
showing
of
where
time
their
that they
heads
did
are
do
at,
it.
though.
I
That's
don't know
showing
what
where
It
they're
showed
trying
where
to
their
do.
heads are at, and then they immediately fixed it because people reacted poorly.
shouldn't even have
which
to
is
be
what
blown
any
up
game
like that.
company would do.
No, any game company would not
Well,
put
yeah,
that shit in the first place.
No.
What are you
No,
talking
that's
about?
fair.
You're
Why
building
do you
games.
That's
so
fair.
fucking mad?
That's fair, but I don't know.
You're just wrong at this.
There's
just
just
come
never
on.
there's never
No,
been a
there's-
version of Battlefront with microtransactions except for
Rose
16
tinted
hours.
glass.
Holy crap.
And I agree people should freak out about it when it's relevant, but like it's not relevant right now because there's not a version of Battlefront with microtransactions.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you're trying to promote this idea of like, hey, you should have amnesia about all the shitty things they've done as soon as they fix it.
You shouldn't have amnesia, but the fact that you should be
But you
wary
should
of
give
it.
them money
You should
once
be
they
wary
take
of it.
it out.
If they fix
Alright,
the
they fix
issue,
it
I
for a
don't see
week,
the issue with
okay.
giving them $30 to play Star
You've
Wars,
been
which is a
good
good
EA
game.
This month, you've been real good.
We're gonna
give you
reward
money.
you.
And when they fuck it up, then react.
But you
What,
What, are you
Wait,
gonna
wait,
take
them
your money
money.
back?
Huh?
You're gonna take all your money back when they fuck it
You're
up?
gonna-
All
return it?
$30 of it?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
30
$30 is $30, man.
I'll if
You
that,
wanna give me 30
I
bucks
will
right
try
now?
to issue a refund if that comes. I probably won't get it, but I'll try to get a
Exactly.
refund. I'll stand up to it when it's an issue, but it's not an issue right now.
To you.
There's nothing in the game. There's not a microtransaction in the game. You cannot buy premium currency in the game.
That's like I don't understand. That's like you doing something really stupid, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you get blown up for it, right? And then you take it out and you're like, "Hey guys, I fixed it." And it's like, "Okay, you still did something incredibly stupid. Just because you say sorry doesn't
Yeah.
mean everything goes
But
away."
and they fixed it immediately.
Because
Again,
they got blown up immediately.
Uh-huh.
It
And
was
it will
Like
get
bigger
blown
than
up-
anybody
and it
ever
will
has.
and it will get blown up again.
I've never
if it
seen
happens.
somebody get railed so
They
hard.
got-
That's
they
how
got
fucked up it was.
roasted so
And they
incredibly
will
hard.
again if they put it back in.
But then I'm not gonna be like, all right.
But why
EA,
gamble on that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say you're doing good for this past month. I'm gonna buy your
Yeah.
game.
People did that shit with Destiny. Destiny 1 came out, it was shitty. They fixed it with the Taken King,
Uh-huh.
and then everyone said, hey, Bungie's a good guy. They fixed the last game. Destiny 2 will be fine. And then guess what? They're fucking you in the ass on
Yeah,
Destiny 2.
and everyone's screaming
And
about
you
it.
don't think EA is going to do that same shit?
I honestly, with Battlefront 2, because of how it played out and because of how vocal everyone was, I don't think they're going to do it again. Until the game's at like a 2,000 player population
think
and no one's
that-
playing it naturally, then they might reintroduce
I
it
think
when
all
no one
that
will
they
care.
learned is
'cause no one will
where's
be
the
playing it.
boundary? Where do we stop with
Sure.
the greeds? They're still going to put in loot boxes. They're still going to try to add in this shit. They just figure that, like, oh, people didn't like this.
They
and
will
this.
probably put in cosmetic only loot boxes.
They're gonna call them fun cubes. That's what they're gonna do.
No, they're not. That's not what they're going to do. It's going to be cosmetic only loot boxes if they reintroduce it. They know what they're doing, and yeah, they know what they're doing in like a marketing, like manipulative, like we're here to make money kind of way. But they pushed it too far, and they're not going to cross that line again.
I think that's
like,
easy
based
to
on what?
say.
That's like your trust
Yeah.
in EA.
That's
the only
not.
thing
No,
you're
that's
basing it
my
on.
trust in
I think
like
we're just beating a
a
dead
giant,
Yeah, we are beating a dead.
giant rich
But I'm down
company
to
knowing what
continue
they're
to yell at
doing.
Matt. Like, that's,
I am entertained.
My top 5 things that I like doing is yelling.
I
at
love
him.
Matt's unbreakable will too,
Mm.
as
I mean,
well.
he is very stubborn and also very wrong.
Yeah, well, I agree there.
It's a great
I'm,
combination.
there's my only point is there's a great game there, and I just don't think it should be ignored because of
I'm
everything.
sure you can have a fun time
Fair
with it,
enough.
but I just don't.
Fair enough,
I
boys.
can have a fun time playing any garbage game as long as
Yeah.
I'm playing with some friends or whatever.
I'm not playing it with friends though.
I'm just
Because no one will buy it because everyone's a fucking activist against EA.
What is that? What are we doing here?
All right, everybody. This has been episode 8 of Casually Toxic. If you guys have enjoyed the podcast today, give us a follow at
RIP Casually Toxic.
twitter.com/casuallytoxic. Thank you for listening as usual, and we'll see you next week.
Can we